Good morning. Welcome to the porch. We wanted to put together a little porch talk for this morning, and so we're going to go ahead and get started. Our subject's going to be how to deal with stress. Now, people have to deal with stress a lot in life. That's just the way life is. And there's multiple things that will cause stress, but I want to talk about one aspect of stress that will cover the biggest part of the stress you probably are under. And that's stress of being overloaded with projects, housework, uh, things on the job, a number of different things like that, but basically overload. Now, here's something I want to say to you about stress. The reason we need to talk about it and we need to manage stress is because stress can kill you. Stress is your enemy, and it's an enemy that exacts a terrible price on the human soul. And so I'm going to approach that in order to possibly help people overcome stress and manage stress. Now, a person may say, well, Paul, you're going to teach us something we can apply tomorrow that will get stress out of our life? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to lie to you. Stress is something you're going to fight the rest of your life in one way or the other. That's just the way life is. You may say, well, I don't like that. Well, I don't like it either, but it is a fact of life. Now, there are some things in life that you can't do anything about, but there are some things you can, and stress is one of them. So let's talk about how people get stressed just by using an illustration. And there's a lot of ways you could go at this, but this is the way we're going to go at it this morning. When people get up in the morning, a lot of times they'll stress out very first thing in the morning because they'll look at their day and I've got to go here, I've got to go there, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And the next thing you know, they're just overwhelmed with the I got to do things. Again, that's a part of life. You get up in the morning, you have things you got to get done, especially if you're a responsible person. You're going to have to get some things done in your life, and that's just what you got to do. So let me talk to you about how you deal with that. What people get into is they'll have, like, say 10 things on their list of I got to do. Some may have 50 things, but let's just say 10 things. And they'll have those on their list, and they'll look at them, they'll start stressing out because, like, how am I going to get all this done today? Well, you may have too many things on your list. And if you do, you got to fix that. Now, if you make a list, and a lot of people don't even do that, and that'll stress you out just by itself by not having the stuff listed where you know what you need to do and what order you need to do it in. But you put a list down there of the 10 things you got going on, and you look at it, and something I like to do, and you can try this, but I like to put a time frame. Like if I've got to go to town and get parts, I may put 2 hours on there. If I've got to clean up the shop before I start another project, I may put an hour on there. In other words, get some kind of an idea of what kind of time you're really going to spend on those 10 things. Well, say you're going to do an 8-hour day. Now, we're just doing an illustration. A lot of times I do more than that, but just for an illustration, say you got 8 hours you can spend on your day and doing the things that you do. We get all this stuff down on the list, and you look at it, and you got, say, 15 hours worth of work there. Well, guys, realistically, the sun goes up and the sun goes down the way it goes up and goes down, and time passes the way it passes, and you can't control that. You can't do anything about that. So if you got more things on your list than you can get done, just be honest with yourself and take those things and move them to the next day on that list. Because if you keep trying to deceive yourself into thinking you can get things done that you can't, you're never going to get rid of the stress. It's always going to be there. So move those things to the next day. Look at what you can realistically do. And now prioritize those things. What is it you need to get done first? Put that number one, of course. Then number 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And say you got two things off that list you had to move to tomorrow because you just simply can't get to them today. Okay, now you got a day that's laid out of about an 8-hour work day, and you know what you can get done. What you're going to find, it's interesting, but you'll find that you'll feel that kind of start coming off your shoulders. You'll start feeling better about the day because you've been realistic about it. Now, here's the thing that I do want to talk to you about is this. I would love that they'd make a bottle of pills that you could take to get rid of stress, but stress is managed. It's not a pill to get rid of it, okay? You got to manage it. So this is a way to manage it. You start managing this stress, you're not going to be good at it tomorrow. You're not going to be good at it the next day. But in a month or so, you'll start getting good at it. And in a year or so, you'll get really good at it. What you really need to do, you need to master managing your life to where you master the stress. You say, well, I don't want to do that. Well, that's your call. But I'm just telling you that if you don't do anything about it, it's probably going to sneak up on you and cause you to have health problems, okay? It may even kill you. So having said all that, those are just some ways to manage stress. Make a list, prioritize your list, be honest about what you can and cannot do, and go at it. You'll find that it'll make your life a whole lot better. And in the long run, you'll see a lot of other benefits that I can't, because of time, bring out and talk about today. But maybe in a video later on down the line, we'll do that. Okay, guys, we here at Porch love you. We want the best for you. May God bless and have a good day.